What if the gun that built Clint Eastwood's legend almost landed in Frank Sinatra's hand? That single question rewrites everything you thought you knew about Dirty Harry. It turns out the movie that birthed the renegade cop myth was an inch from never existing, thwarted by aching wrists, bruised egos, and Hollywood politics. Half a century later, its .44 Magnum echo still ricochets through pop culture, law and order debates, and even today's AI ethics think tanks. Yet new restorations, academic essays, and relentless remake rumors keep adding fresh layers of intrigue. So let's walk the shadowy alleys of San Francisco, sift through studio boardrooms thick with cigar smoke, and listen to the whispers that shaped Inspector Harry Callahan into the most divisive hero of modern cinema. Stay sharp, because each twist opens a new door, and behind every door is a story you've never heard. But the first secret was scribbled on a script few people believed in. Back in 1968, the title read Dead Right. The setting was New York, and Harry Callahan was a grizzled 50-something cop. Studio execs first pictured Frank Sinatra snarling the famous line, but Old Blue Eyes bowed out after an old hand injury made the giant revolver impossible to manage. John Wayne, Robert Mitchum, Steve McQueen, and Paul Newman each waved it away. Wayne sniffing that Harry enjoyed the cruelty too much, Newman calling the script too right-wing before nudging it toward a younger Eastwood. Every rejection lowered studio hopes and loosened studio control until the project floated like driftwood into Clint Eastwood's lap. He was 41, fresh off spaghetti western fame and Rawhide, staring at an American breakthrough that could tank his stateside career if audiences revolted. Yet that uncertainty gifted the filmmakers rare freedom. No mogul expected a blockbuster, so no one meddled with risky choices. Dead Right was reborn as Dirty Harry, and the gamble began. But a gamble needs real stakes, and San Francisco supplied them. As cameras rolled in 1971, the Zodiac killer still haunted the Bay Area. Inspector Dave Toschi, the sharp-dressed detective with an upside-down holster, briefed screenwriters and unwittingly lent Harry both swagger and weapon style. Oakland officer Gus Carreras, famous for bending rules to collar predators, became the template for Harry's get-it-done impatience. Meanwhile, actor Andrew Robinson patterned the Scorpio killer directly on Zodiac, shooting scenes at real attack sites near Lake Berryessa, a detail executives hushed to avoid lawsuits and panic. This overlap of fact and fiction charged every frame with dread. Locals knew the hillside angles and fog-swallowed streets too well. The film wasn't inventing fear, it was bottling what San Francisco residents felt each night. But the man playing Scorpio wasn't a born monster, he had to become one. Robinson was a gentle theater actor who hated guns. On set he flinched whenever blanks fired, forcing the crew to send him for crash course firearms training. To channel Scorpio, he devoured case files, wrote diaries in character, and practiced deranged grins in a motel mirror. The performance worked too well. Viewers blurred actor and role, mailing death threats that prompted Warner Bros. To hire bodyguards. Robinson later admitted it took a full year to scrape off the killer mindset. But the pressure cooker intensified when two alpha storytellers disagreed on Harry's soul. Director Siegel wanted moral ambiguity, Eastwood pushed for unapologetic grit. Their clash peaked during the leg stomp interrogation. Siegel framed Scorpio's agony, Eastwood favored stoic heroism. They shot multiple takes before slicing together a middle ground that forces viewers to judge the brutality themselves. The rift widened over the bank robbery opener. Siegel planned a simple shootout. Eastwood rewrote it overnight, adding the now mythic "Do you feel lucky" speech. Skeptical execs nearly cut it until the crew's stunned silence signaled gold. The fiercest battle was the ending. Siegel wanted Harry to fling his badge into a quarry, disgusted by bureaucracy. Eastwood initially resisted, fearing it meant resignation, but cameras rolled and his instinct flipped. He hurled the badge. Test audiences gasped. The studio trimmed ambiguity by keeping Harry's future vague. But beneath every argument lurked silent imagery shaping opinions without a word. Harry's oversized .44 Magnum isn't just firepower. It's a physical metaphor for his extreme methods, spectacular, effective, and nearly impractical for standard police work. Cinematographer Bruce Surtees isolates him in frames, even at crowded crime scenes, to picture a man forever outside the system. Costume designer Glenn Wright wraps him in earthy browns and greens, clashing against blue uniforms to signal internal exile. Siegel's San Francisco skips postcards of the Golden Gate in favor of construction pits and half-demolished warehouses, a city in moral flux. Night cloaks Scorpio's crimes and Harry's dirtiest acts, while the midday sun lights their final quarry showdown. No more shadows to hide in. Recurring water imagery, from the poolside murder to the badge toss, mirrors the murky ethics the story swims through. Even Kezar Stadium's empty bleachers stage justice as a lonely sport with no cheering crowd. But the cast carried secrets beyond the script that deepened every glance. Eastwood imagined Harry as a Korean War Marine whose wife was killed by a drunk driver who walked free. That grief fuels his disgust for loopholes. Watch how he stands ramrod straight, a soldier still on duty. Robinson pictured Scorpio as a rejected army applicant, craving a war of his own. The buzz cut and surplus jacket are cosplay for the battlefield he never reached. Rainey Santoni saw Chico as a first-generation college grad torn between cultural pride and a perilous profession. John Vernon played the mayor as a reformist rookie desperate to avoid a PR nightmare, while Harry Guardino believed Lieutenant Bressler once rode patrol with Callahan, explaining the wary loyalty under the scolding. None of these histories appear in dialogue, yet they pulse beneath every pause. Audiences sensed that weight, and critics erupted. December 23, 1971. Pauline Kael blasted the film as a fascist moral position made to seem bold, while Roger Ebert praised its thrills, yet called its ethics dangerous. Feminist protesters waved "Dirty Harry is a rotten pig" banners outside the Academy Awards. Variety, meanwhile, predicted big box office returns, and Time magazine hailed Eastwood's career-best performance. The split mirrored a country snarled in crime fears, civil rights battles, and distrust of authority. Every ticket buyer carried personal politics into the theater and left convinced the film agreed with them, a testament to that hard-fought ambiguity. And shockingly, the controversy never cooled. Callahan's DNA now threads through John McClane, Martin Riggs, Axel Foley, and countless TV detectives. Before 1971, screen sleuths solved puzzles. After Harry, they bulldozed obstacles, badge in one hand, personal code in the other. Surtees's natural light location shooting birthed the gritty realism look that's standard in crime dramas. Even the Model 29 revolver sold out nationwide as gun owners chased the most powerful handgun mystique. Yet admiration walks alongside alarm. Scholars coined the Dirty Harry problem to describe officers who bend rules for perceived greater good, and recent AI ethicists borrow the phrase when algorithms promise order at civil liberty costs. But pop culture never stops revisiting an icon, and the last 3 years proved it. In early 2025, Warner Bros. Unveiled a 4K restoration premiering at the Berlin Film Festival and hitting physical media on April 29th.
New featurettes dissect Surtees's cinematography and Eastwood's generational impact. Yet, U.S. fans erupted when the first wave shipped only to the UK and France, calling it a damn slap on social media until the studio confirmed a North American date. Limited steelbooks sold out within hours, scalpers flipped copies online, proving Harry's commercial punch at 54 years old. And where nostalgia surges, reboot rumors swarm. Bloggers and message boards buzzed in mid-2024 with talk of Pedro Pascal circling a reimagined Dirty Harry, set against modern surveillance tech and body cam politics. No studio confirmation surfaced, but agents neither denied nor confirmed. The classic Hollywood, maybe. Film Twitter instantly split. Some cheered fresh blood, purists threatened boycotts. The debate itself boosted the franchise's trending power, exactly what executives measure before greenlighting. Meanwhile, the original architect quietly readied what may be his final curtain. At 94, Clint Eastwood directed Juror Number 2, a legal thriller about a juror who may have caused the very death he's judging. Shot in Savannah and Los Angeles, paused by the 2023 strikes, and released in late 2024, critics hailed it as a lean meditation on guilt and accountability. Echoes of Harry's quandaries from the other side of the law. Some commentators wondered if Callahan's shadow nudged Eastwood toward one last reckoning with justice gone sideways, while scholars keep poking the beast for deeper meaning. Criminology courses still dissect Harry's shortcuts. A 2024 British Psychological Society essay reframed him as benign in motive, corrosive in method. Journals debate whether his brand of decisive violence comforts audiences when real-world institutions feel sluggish, or subtly normalizes excessive force. The same pattern now appears in debates about predictive policing software. Should an algorithm break rules to save lives? Researchers literally label the dilemma Digital Dirty Harry. Yet academic circles are only one arena. The streets of San Francisco are another. In July 2024, local theaters hosted anniversary midnight shows in newly restored 4K. Younger viewers, raised amid phone cams and police reform marches, gasped when Harry tramples suspects' rights, then cheered his final shot. Panel discussions followed each screening, with activists and cops trading heated words on stage. One officer admitted, "Half my academy class idolized Harry, the other half feared becoming him." The film still works because it forces an audience to take sides, even inside the same heart. But every story needs one more surprise. Archivists prepping the 4K extras unearthed a discarded script page. An epilogue where Harry drives past a billboard reading, "Help Wanted, SFPD." He slows, stares, then hits the gas and vanishes. No badge toss, no sequel bait, just a man realizing he might never fit anywhere again. Those 20 lines never filmed, yet they crystallized the central dilemma: hero, menace, or both? And that unanswered question streaks straight into our final stop. Dirty Harry endures because certainty is exactly what it withholds. Clint Eastwood's steely gaze dares us to applaud. Don Siegel's camera dares us to flinch. Real detectives, unfinished murders, and behind-the-scenes showdowns fuse art with reality until the border dissolves. New restorations sharpen each frame, remake rumors keep fans sparring, and Eastwood's Twilight projects echo the same obsessions. Half a century on, the badge still spins in midair, and we still can't decide whether it lands in honor or disgrace. That unresolved tension is the real trigger, and it's still cocked, pointed straight at every viewer who thinks they already know the answer.